story begins in a highly secure prison in Santiago, where thousands of dangerous criminals are kept behind bars. In fact, this prison is considered the most secure in all of Santiago, because not a single prisoner has ever managed to escape from it. But the biggest reason behind that is the prison's warden, who is an extremely cruel and ruthless man and gives the harshest punishments even for the smallest mistake. Because of this, the prisoners locked inside the jail not only tremble at the thought of escaping, but are also filled with fear before making even the slightest mistake. But now, the warden's reign of terror is not going to last much longer because a dangerous and clever prisoner named Leon has now entered this prison. In fact, Leon is an architect by profession who can instantly tell, just by looking at any building, how old it is and how it was built. As soon as Leon steps inside the prison, he starts making a plan in his mind to escape from here. During this, it is revealed that Leon has not come to the prison alone. Along with Leon, a few of his companions have also arrived, and they too want to escape from this prison. A short while later, a prison officer lines up all the prisoners, announces the strict rules of the prison, and warns them whoever breaks the rules will be killed. Then, under heavy security, all the prisoners are taken to their cells. Just then, Leon rushes forward, determined to reach cell number 50 before anyone else because there is a passage beneath cell number 50, and the escape plan will begin through that very passage, something Leon already knows. But unfortunately, the moment Leon opens the door to cell number 50, another man has already occupied it. Because of this, Leon is forced to stay in the cell next to number 50, which is cell number 51. On the other hand, all of Leon's companions have successfully secured the exact cells they were supposed to reach according to the plan. After a while, all of them step into Leon's cell, and Raphael immediately asks Leon, "You were supposed to stay in cell number 50, but this is cell number 51. Leon immediately replies, "You all reached your rooms easily because your cells are on the ground floor, which is why you managed to get them without any trouble. But my cell is on the first floor, and that's why I couldn't reach the room that was assigned to me." Hearing this, German asks Leon what they should do next. Raphael then replies that there is no point in waiting anymore, and starting tomorrow they will begin preparing to escape from here. After some time, a prisoner arrives there carrying a guitar, and it is revealed that this man who plays the guitar is also a part of Leon's escape plan. In fact, every prisoner in this jail is only allowed to do the work they are skilled at, so that they remain occupied with it, whether it is playing the guitar, operating machines, or cutting wood. The next morning, Leon completely immerses himself in his plan and starts carefully searching every corner of the prison for a possible escape route. As soon as Leon sees officers stationed everywhere, he immediately realizes that escaping by climbing over the prison wall is almost impossible. Without wasting any time, Leon begins measuring the entire length of the prison by walking across it. Right after estimating its length, Leon tells his companions, "We will have to dig a tunnel 70 meters or 230 feet long, which will lead us to a river called Mapocho beside the road. Once we somehow reach the Mapocho River beside the road, we will be free from this captivity." But now, the biggest problem facing the three of them is not digging the tunnel, but the soil that will come out of it. Because after digging such a long tunnel, where will they hide all that soil? This question keeps running through the minds of all three of them. And even Leon starts wondering where they can dispose of the soil coming out of the tunnel. Just then, while the three of them are trying to figure out a solution to this problem, a prisoner named Bigot becomes suspicious of them. Bigote is a complete traitor who has already sold himself to the prison warden in exchange for a pack of cigarettes. Whenever Bigote notices any prisoner trying to escape from the prison or breaking the rules, he quietly goes and reports everything to the officers. In fact, for a long time, Bigot has been keeping a close eye on every single move of Leon and his two friends. During this time, seeing the three of them talking among themselves for so long makes Bigot suspicious. Bigote immediately says to Raphael, "I've been watching the three of you very carefully for the past several days, and I know very well that you're plotting to escape from this place. Just make me a part of your plan too, so that I can also escape from this hell." But Raphael doesn't trust Bigote and very cleverly says to him, "We don't have any such plan." Then Raphael adds, "If you have any good plan to get out of here, be sure to share it with us." After this, Leon, German, and Raphael go down to the lower cell. Raphael then stares at a wall and says, "We'll make a hole in this wall and prepare our way out." But then the biggest problem comes up. If they start breaking the wall, they can't leave the hole uncovered, because every evening the officers come to inspect every single cell, and if they notice the hole, the plan will fail before it's even completed. Leon immediately says, "We'll break only a small part of this wall and make a fake cube-shaped piece that looks exactly the same. Then, when the officers come for the inspection, we'll fit that fake piece back into the wall. This way, our passage will completely disappear, and this piece will save all of us from getting caught by the officers." Now the wall problem is solved, but the soil coming out of the tunnel is still the biggest issue. Just then, Leon calls his friend who plays the guitar into the cell, and the guitarist takes out a screwdriver hidden inside his guitar and hands it over to Leon. After that, Leon starts making a square-shaped hole in the ceiling with the screwdriver, causing the noise to spread outside. Meanwhile, to cover the sound, the guitarist immediately starts playing the guitar and singing so that no one can hear the noise coming from inside the cell. Finally, after working for a while, Leon succeeds in making a hole in the ceiling. Leon then climbs up through the hole and looks around, where he sees a huge empty space. Seeing this, Leon realizes that nearly 50 to 70 tons or even more soil can easily be hidden there. Just then, seeing the ceiling starting to collapse, Raphael begins to panic and immediately says, "We have to cover this hole right away." Meanwhile, the sun is about to set, and the officers are only moments away from reaching the cell for inspection. Leon immediately replies, "Quickly go and bring eggs and flour from the kitchen." Raphael gets furious and says, "We're in serious trouble here, and you're making jokes." Leon interrupts Raphael and says, "Just hurry up and bring the eggs, then I'll tell you the rest of the plan." In fact, Raphael agrees and goes to bring the eggs, while German crushes the broken pieces of the fallen bricks into a fine powder. After a while, Raphael returns with the eggs and flour. Leon then fills a bucket with the fine dust made from the debris and mixes the flour into it. Meanwhile, outside, the guitarist standing guard suddenly starts playing the danger tune. In fact, that tune is the signal that the officers are coming to inspect the cells. Hearing the warning tune, everyone inside the cell immediately realizes that the officers are on their way for the inspection. Then everyone quickly starts finishing all the work, and they knead the cement made from eggs like dough to prepare a new piece. After that, they fit this piece into the hole in the ceiling. Then they paste an actress's poster directly below the hole. Just then, a few officers step into the room, and they immediately order Leon and the others to come outside. Now the officers begin inspecting the cell very carefully, but they don't find any clue inside. Suddenly, one officer notices the same paper pasted on the ceiling, but just as he is about to tear it off, a senior officer standing outside immediately calls out to him. At that very moment, the officer leaves the paper as it is and goes back, and with great difficulty, they manage to escape from getting caught by the officers. Just then, Leon and German climb up to the ceiling and build a wooden frame, then fill that frame with cement and leave it there on the ceiling. Once the cement dries, a fake piece that looks exactly like the wall is ready. Then finally, the time comes to dig the tunnel, and Leon starts removing the first brick with a long blade. In fact, this piece has to break in exactly the same size as the fake piece they have already prepared. But as soon as they break a part of the wall, one of their companions comes to the door and tells them that a guard is coming straight toward the room. Suddenly, hearing this, all the friends become completely terrified because the part of the wall Leon has broken is still too small for the fake piece to fit into it, making it impossible to place the piece inside the wall for now. But when they see no other option, everyone quickly cleans up the debris from the broken section and places a table in front of the hole where the digging was going on to cover it. Then they all get busy with their own work, so that the officer doesn't suspect anything. Just then, the officer enters the room. In fact, this officer has come to meet another prisoner named Velasquez because that prisoner had requested some medicines. After entering the cell, the officer looks around for prisoner Velasquez, but he doesn't suspect any of their activities and simply says, "When prisoner Velasquez comes back to the room, tell him to come to my office and collect his medicine." After saying this, the officer leaves. As soon as the officer walks out, everyone happily listens to music on the radio and gets back to digging once again. After working continuously for several hours, they finally cut out a section of the wall exactly the same size as the cube they had made, and then fit the fake box into that spot. After that, all the debris from the digging is filled into a bag, and everyone carries that bag to the same upper cell where the hole in the ceiling already exists, the one that had been hidden with the small cube made by mixing eggs and flour. Now they remove that cube and start storing the soil from the tunnel in the empty space above. Then, after placing all the soil there, they fit the same cube back into its place and cover the hole with the poster again so that no one gets suspicious. Now the digging work begins, and every day, the guitarist keeps everyone distracted by playing the guitar while also keeping an eye on the officers' movements. Meanwhile, Leon, Raphael, and German continue digging the tunnel in the lower cell, and they keep filling the soil coming out of the tunnel into different bags and storing it in the ceiling of the upper cell. Now all of them keep working in this fixed pattern every single day, and the tunnel digging continues for many days without interruption. But during this time, a prisoner named Oscar begins to suspect them because Oscar has been watching their every move for quite some time. Oscar notices that every day they keep going from the lower cell to the upper cell in exactly the same way. Not only that, every time they have some kind of bag or bucket in their hands, and this makes Oscar even more suspicious. Today marks 70 days for everyone in this prison, and when Leon measures the length of the tunnel, he realizes that even after working continuously for so many days, they have managed to dig only about 16 feet. Seeing this, Leon immediately understands that it will not be possible to complete this work with the strength of just 5 people. So Leon tells his companions that if they want to finish this tunnel on time, they will have to take help from more people, because if they keep digging at the same pace, it will take a full 5 years to complete the tunnel. After that, German is carrying a bag filled with the soil dug out from the tunnel, but suddenly stops him and asks what is inside the bag. German replies, 4 homemade bombs and 5 grenades. The officer says, "Don't joke around, open it right now." Hearing this, German gets a little nervous because he starts thinking that the entire plan could fall apart today. But German opens the bag. Only a few belongings are visible on top. In fact, German had already hidden the soil at the very bottom of the bag and placed the other items over it. After that, the officer tells German to come with him to the office for some other work, and German hands the bag over to Leon on the way before leaving. Leon then completes the task of taking that bag up to the roof. Today, they have spent a total of 86 days in prison, and now not a single prisoner wants to stay here even for another moment. So, to speed up the digging, Leon and his companions bring some prisoners from the upper floor into their plan. Leon then removes the hidden cube from the wall and shows the entire tunnel to the new men. The moment they see everything, the new prisoners agree to dig the tunnel without any delay, because now everyone thinks that if just 5 people could dig a tunnel 23 feet long, then with so many people working together, they would finish the remaining distance very quickly. In fact, among those new companions are several prisoners who are about to be executed soon. That is why those prisoners already need a chance to escape from the prison, and for this reason, they immediately agree to join Leon. Once Leon is convinced that all the prisoners are ready to dig the tunnel, he explains the entire plan by saying, "We will work for 2 hours every day in shifts. 2 people will dig the tunnel, 2 people will carry the dug-up soil upstairs, while 2 people will keep an eye on every movement of the officers. All the remaining prisoners will continue doing the prison's daily work as usual, so that no one gets even the slightest hint about their plan." Now all the prisoners continue digging the tunnel day and night in 2-hour shifts, and whenever a prisoner comes out of the tunnel after digging, he washes his clothes and then takes a proper bath so that the officers do not become suspicious after seeing the soil on his clothes. Before long, the digging speed increases significantly, and now they begin removing nearly 100 kilograms of soil from the tunnel every single day. Now, a hole is made in the ceiling of the room downstairs, where the digging is taking place, so that the soil can be passed directly to the prisoners in the cell above, and no one has to risk climbing the stairs. This method not only greatly reduces the chances of getting caught, but also allows the tunnel work to progress much faster than before. Meanwhile, whenever a prisoner is digging inside the tunnel, the rest of the companions turn up the volume of the radio, so that the sound of digging and tools gets drowned out. At the same time, the prisoners outside behave completely normally so that the officers do not become suspicious. But the moment they suspect that an officer is coming, one of the prisoners immediately knocks on the cell door to signal danger, and as soon as everyone inside receives the signal, they quickly seal the tunnel with the fake cube and return to their assigned tasks. One evening, while all the prisoners are playing football, a prisoner named Oscar walks up to Rafael and quietly says, "I know everything. I know you people are preparing to escape from here by digging a tunnel, so I also want to join you and be a part of this plan and escape from the prison." Pretending to know nothing, Rafael asks, "What tunnel?" Oscar replies, "You should at least clean the dirt from under your fingernails after digging." Hearing this, Rafael realizes that Oscar knows everything, and he takes Oscar straight to Leon. Without wasting much time, Leon includes Oscar in the team as well. Leon then tells German and Rafael, "The way new prisoners are joining us, I am completely sure that we will finish this tunnel very soon and then get out of here." Leon then continues, "Just getting out of here won't be enough because we are not just 1 or 2 people, but a total of 49. If any officer spots us as soon as we get outside the prison, we won't survive. So to make this plan successful, we will need someone trustworthy on the outside who will be waiting with a bus the moment we come out." Hearing this, everyone falls into deep thought, wondering who outside could help them. Just then, looking at Rafael, Leon says, "Your wife, Polina, can help us. And the biggest thing is that we can trust her. So you will have to talk to Polina and ask for her help." Today marks a total of 182 days for all these prisoners inside the prison, and today is visiting day. So all the prisoners' family members have come to the prison to meet them. During this time, Rafael's wife, Polina, also comes to meet him. As soon as he gets the chance, Rafael explains the entire plan to Polina and says, "We will need your help from the outside. Somehow, you have to arrange a bus. and that bus must be waiting outside on the day we escape. Hearing this, Polina immediately agrees to take on this responsibility, and after the meeting ends, she leaves. Now, while continuing to dig the tunnel, these prisoners have spent a total of 205 days inside the prison, and the tunnel has become much deeper than before. Then one day, their companion who plays the guitar is busy digging inside the tunnel when the officers suddenly arrive to inspect the cell. The moment Rafael and Leon, who are outside, see this, they immediately become alert, because for quite some time the cell inspections had always been taking place in the evening. But today, the officers came to inspect the cell in the afternoon, as if they had received secret information about the tunnel being dug. Leon rushes inside and warns everyone, "Stop digging immediately and get back to your assigned work." So the prisoners who were involved in digging immediately stop their work. But the guitar player and another prisoner are working at the farthest end of the tunnel, so they are unable to get out in time and become trapped there. At the same time, they try to come out. Meanwhile, all the others are under great tension because they think that today the entire plan is going to be exposed. But at that moment, Rafael attacks one of the officers. Seeing this, the officers become furious and immediately attack the prisoners as well. At the same time, the prisoners begin fighting back against the guards and do everything they can to buy some time for the prisoners trapped inside the tunnel to come out. Meanwhile, the guitar player and his companion finally manage to come out of the tunnel. Then the two of them carefully fit the fake cube back into the wall. After that, they open the cell door and peek outside, but they do not see a single prisoner there. That is because, for trying to attack the officers, all the prisoners have been stripped of their clothes and punished by being made to stand outside in the scorching sun, and all of them have to serve this punishment by kneeling down and staying hungry for the entire day. Meanwhile, Rafael's wife, Polina, reaches the church and meets a priest and one of Rafael's old friends there. During this time, Polina explains Leon and Rafael's entire plan to both of them in detail and says, if we want to get all of them out safely, then a bus must be ready outside the prison in advance. Hearing this, they immediately agree to help and say, we'll take care of arranging the bus. Meanwhile, Rafael's lawyer comes to the prison to meet him, and when the lawyer is about to leave after the meeting time is over, the prison warden offers Rafael a cigarette, but Rafael politely refuses. Even so, Rafael notices the warden's cigarette pack and recognizes which brand the warden smokes. During this time, these prisoners have already spent 392 days in prison, which is more than a year, and the tunnel has now reached outside the prison. After working day and night continuously, the tunnel is finally entering its final stage. Now, as evening falls, all the companions sit together to decide the date of their escape. In fact, during this time, the prison warden's suspicion of the prisoners grows even stronger. The warden once again calls the same prisoner named Bigot to his office. Handing him a pack of cigarettes, the warden says, I feel like something big is going on inside the prison. Now you have to find out what exactly they are preparing for. In exchange for the cigarette pack, Bigot once again agrees to become an informant, but at that time, even Bigot has absolutely no idea that the prisoners are secretly preparing to escape by digging a tunnel. Today marks a total of 514 days of digging for these prisoners, and at last, the tunnel reaches the outer road. Rafael then makes a small hole upward from the last section of the tunnel and leaves a pink mark at that spot, so that the priest and the bus driver waiting outside the prison can understand that the tunnel has reached the planned location. Meanwhile, Bigot has been keeping a close eye on Rafael and Leon for quite some time, but despite being suspicious again and again, Bigot has no evidence that could prove they are really preparing to escape by digging a tunnel. Now, to confirm his suspicion, Bigot walks straight up to Rafael and says, if you people are really preparing to get out of here, then take me with you too. I can't stay in this prison anymore, and my wife and daughter are waiting for me outside. Hearing this, Rafael feels sorry for Bigot for a moment, and just as he is about to reveal the secret of the tunnel, his eyes suddenly fall on the cigarette pack in Bigot's hand. In fact, it is the very same brand that Rafael had seen in the warden's hand a few days earlier. At that very moment, Rafael understands the whole game, that Bigot is working with the warden. Realizing this, Rafael immediately changes his mind and does not say a single word about the tunnel to Bigot. Meanwhile, outside the prison, the bus driver comes near the prison on the pretext of taking his dog for a walk, and that is when he notices the pink mark left on the ground. The next day, the church priest comes to the prison to meet Leon and says, we found the pink mark you left. You have managed to dig the tunnel all the way to the prison's outer wall. But if you escape from here, you could get caught. So now you have to continue digging across the road to the Mapocho River, which will be about 50 more feet. As soon as they receive this information, Leon and his companions begin extending the tunnel without wasting any time. After working continuously, only a few more days remain before their tunnel is finally complete. But now these men are about to face a problem that no one had even imagined. In fact, one prisoner is digging at the end of the tunnel as usual when suddenly an earthquake strikes, and the walls of the entire prison begin shaking violently. At the same time, Leon is outside watching a football match with his companions. The moment he feels the earthquake tremors, Leon immediately runs toward the tunnel without wasting a second. Meanwhile, the officers begin ordering all the prisoners to get out of the prison immediately so that no one is at risk of being crushed by a collapsing wall. During this time, Leon somehow manages to bring his companion trapped inside the tunnel out safely. But even after saving his companion, Leon's worry does not end because he fears that the tunnel might have collapsed from the inside due to the earthquake. So Leon goes back into the tunnel once again, and after reaching inside, he sees that the tunnel has remained completely safe. Seeing this, he breathes a sigh of relief. Meanwhile, the tunnel is in its final stage, and the day of escape is drawing near. At that time, Leon goes to meet a prisoner who is always in a wheelchair. During their conversation, Leon says, "We are going to get out of here very soon, and I want you to escape with us." But the other prisoner says, "I can't even take a single step without this wheelchair," and refuses to escape. He says, "You people should get out of here as soon as possible. Don't worry about me." At last, the day arrives when all these prisoners are going to escape from the prison. At night, while all the prisoners are busy watching television, the companions involved in digging the tunnel begin getting up one by one. But no one becomes even slightly suspicious of them because everyone's attention is fixed on the movie playing on TV. Meanwhile, all the prisoners who are going to escape quietly reach the cell with the tunnel and then begin climbing down into the tunnel one by one. Meanwhile, Bigote is also watching TV when he suddenly looks behind him and notices that several prisoners have disappeared. Seeing this, Bigot immediately becomes suspicious and heads straight toward Raphael's cell. But on the way, the same prisoner in the wheelchair blocks his path. Bigot forcefully pushes him aside and moves ahead without stopping, reaching Raphael's cell. The moment he enters, Bigot sees the tunnel, but Oscar is still inside the room because Oscar is supposed to leave the room last. Now that the whole truth is in front of him, Bigot immediately turns to inform the officers. But at that very moment, Oscar quickly grabs hold of Bigote. A fight breaks out between Oscar and Bigote. During the struggle, Bigote attacks Oscar's arm with a screwdriver, badly injuring him. But even after suffering such a serious injury, Oscar does not let Bigote leave. He keeps punching Bigote in the face until he knocks him unconscious. After that, Oscar also tries to climb down into the tunnel, but because of the deep wound on his arm, he is unable to move forward. Meanwhile, inside the tunnel, all the other prisoners keep moving ahead slowly and finally reach the other end of the tunnel. Just then, the bus driver waiting outside digs through the ground above and then helps all the prisoners come out of the tunnel one by one. As soon as they come out of the tunnel, all the prisoners quickly change their clothes without wasting any time. Just then, the bus arrives on the bridge ahead, and the moment they see it, they begin moving toward it while staying hidden and climb aboard one by one. But Oscar still has not reached the bus. Now all the prisoners sitting inside the bus keep waiting for Oscar. Just then, German says, "I think Oscar has gotten into some trouble, so I'm going back to bring him." Saying this, German immediately sets off to bring Oscar back. Meanwhile, inside the prison, as soon as the movie ends, all the prisoners begin returning to their respective cells. At that moment, the prisoner in the wheelchair calls out to everyone and says that there is a tunnel in Raphael's cell and that it can be used to get outside. Hearing this, many prisoners immediately rush toward the tunnel. Seeing everyone moving in the same direction, the officers become suspicious at once and quickly call the other officers there. Soon, the prison's emergency siren begins to sound, and the noise of the siren reaches the prisoners sitting inside the bus outside as well. As soon as they hear it, everyone realizes that staying there even for another moment would be too dangerous, and they leave German and Oscar behind and drive away. Just then, one of the prisoners notices German running behind the bus, and the bus is stopped right there. German then says Oscar couldn't escape, maybe because of some trouble he wasn't able to make it out. After hearing this, the bus leaves immediately without wasting any time. Meanwhile, inside the prison, Oscar remains there because of his serious injury and is unable to escape from the prison. At the same time, the prison warden is informed that the prisoners have escaped. The moment he receives this news, the warden flies into a rage. During this time, Polina hands each prisoner a new wallet one by one, containing some money and fake identification documents. After that, all the prisoners head off in different directions so that no one pays attention to them. In fact, this true incident is recorded in history as one of the biggest prison breaks ever, where a total of 50 prisoners escaped from the prison in a single night. However, Oscar was not able to escape with his companions, and with that, the story of this film, based on a true incident, comes to an end here. If you enjoyed this story, then please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a lovely comment. Thank you.